You guys all know the drill by now, honestly. This is what, the third time we've done this? You should know what's gonna happen next. Let's see, we got some stuff. Yeah, 119, go for 110 first. I suppose... Hello. Goodbye, and let's get to work. Music.
Hey folks, Datai from the future here once again speaking over a section of gameplay that my past self did not wish to commentate. And this is the final match call episode that I have to deal with. 2 down, 1 to go. And I figure, hey, let's actually talk about the game a little bit. I had the brilliant idea, let's talk about the different rematch systems in the different generations of Pokemon. Because that's what we're doing. So first generation, there's very, very limited rematch capability. You could only refight the Elite Four and Champion. So if you wanted to train for the Elite Four, because you weren't ready to beat them yet, you could either challenge them over and over and make a little bit of progress each time and a little bit of experience each time, or just train in the Victory Road. And then once you beat them, you could train in the Unknown Dungeon or fight them over and over. And this wasn't really conducive to training up weaker Pokemon. There wasn't experience all, and you could do a bait-and-switch tactic to get them experience, but they couldn't fight on their own, which is less fun. It turns into a grind fest without a whole lot of thought. And maybe that's what you want when you're training Pokemon. But... Anyway, second generation had the beloved but not actually all that useful cell phone system, where you would register certain trainers' cell phone numbers, and they would call you at some random point. I don't know if it's a random, but unpredictable point, and ask for a rematch, and they would be stronger than they were before. It was not reliable because you couldn't initiate a rematch, you had to wait for them. And they didn't initiate very often, and there were very few trainers who would actually give you their number. In the Hoenn games, in Generation 3, there was a match call system, which we're using now, and it's a lot like the cell phone system, except there are more trainers that can be registered, and they rematch more often. Basically, you got a list. I think I've explained this before. You got a list of all the trainers you've registered, and there will be a Pokeball symbol next to anyone who's ready for a rematch. And as you can tell by the past 3 episodes, a fair number of them by the end of the game will be ready to rematch you, which is nice. Again, you cannot initiate when someone wants to rematch you. You just have to wait for them to be ready, which sucks. Generation 3 Kanto, Fire Red and Leaf Green, actually had a really great system called the Versus Seeker. Is a key item. When you use it, when you're standing on a route, trainers who are ready to fight you will get an exclamation point over their head, and you can talk to them and fight them. And it's great because you are the one initiating the refight. You can just go to a route, and if you want to fight a trainer over and over, use the Versus Seeker. If they're not ready, leave, come back, fight a couple other wild Pokemon or something, and use the item again, and they'll be ready. And it's quicker. So they don't always want to rematch you, but it's the most frequent any trainer has wanted to rematch. Generation 4 Sinnoh had a similar Versus Seeker system, I believe. The Johto games for Generation 4 brought back the cell phone system, which wasn't very good. Then Generations 5 and 6, I think, did away with the Versus Seeker or Match Call or cell phone or anything like that, and just opted to have trainers that would fight you either every time you re-entered an area or every day, which, I mean, it's reliable, but it's not necessarily the trainers you want to fight. So that sucks. Versus Seeker remains the best system, and I wish they would just take away any randomness and let you fight anyone at any time, but this is Game Freak we're talking about, so they won't do that. Anyway, back to my past self.
And that means we have officially gotten through everyone here. Except I probably missed a couple people that I just plain didn't register, but this means I absolutely cannot do any more with that at this current point in time. That also means I have to figure out something else to do for the next segment while I'm stalling for Elite Week. But for now, I suppose I'll heal here. And then see you next time.